I saw that you and Conor were both in Sturgis. I'm wondering if you guys met at all and talked about the potential of his fight as well?
We talked, yeah. We talked. We didn't meet up, but we talked. And yeah, he wants to fight.
Make a new name for yourself. Look at what has happened to Michael Perry. You know, one of our big stars here, the king of violence. He titles himself, and you know he's had such a rise in the sport. Now he's up against you know, a little dweeb of a thing in a fight this weekend that we're all rooting for.
Here's why this is so strange to me, AK. Because usually every day there's a Conor tweet. And usually it's something about a fight that probably could never happen. And the day just goes on.
Dana White has reportedly announced that Conor McGregor and Logan Paul will face off in India.
Conor McGregor and Logan Paul are set to fight in India, and those two guys are making $250 million a piece just for showing up. And how all this is possible might actually surprise you. Da-da-da-da-da. It's the deal double G. I know you're thinking, Conor McGregor is washed, and Logan Paul is just a YouTuber, right? Wrong. Logan's not a YouTuber anymore, and Conor is not just a fighter. These two are walking brands. Logan basically turned Prime into a $1 billion brand, and Conor, even though he's not even half of who he used to be, he puts in seats, and he sold his Proper 12 stake for a fortune. And what people don't realize is that their influence isn't just about skills anymore. It's about how well they've built their personal brands. And at this point, it's not about the product, because this fight will be trash.
Then they're going to have these crazy, extravagant press conferences where it gets really heated and they're arguing and they're just going back and forth at one another. And then it's going to be marketed as the biggest fight of all time. There's going to be so much anticipation built up around it. People just can't wait until that day comes. Then finally, it's time for fight night. All the prelims are pretty good. They have like a 20-minute walkout. And it's the most underwhelming fight you've ever seen. And I'll just imagine that Jake wins, Conor gets millions of dollars, and the next day we're talking about the fight being rigged once again. That's exactly how it's going to play out. We've been here like 8 times. Don't fall for it. This fight is going to suck.
Going on with Jake Paul, Conor McGregor? That fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, you know, things, but I don't say that anymore. You never know what could happen.
So do you think that Jake probably has a little bit more to prove to you as a fighter?
He shouldn't even be fighting Conor McGregor. There's weight classes for a reason.
What if Jake can cut to 145? he just cuts half of his body.
Backed by Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani, this fight has sparked intense debates and divided the community into supporters and critics.
I like Logan a lot. Great kid. Who in this room thinks that's a great fight?
He's fighting Dylan.
Raise your hands, please, if him and Dylan Danis is a great fight. I know he's fighting. Nobody? Not one guy?
And borderline unwatchable. But they're still able to get this much money because of their personal branding. These two have mastered the art of turning their names into billion-dollar empires. And the reason why they're able to do this is being unapologetically them.
I truly do think authenticity would be the key for creators, celebrities, influencers in this next decade.
And the good news is you don't have to be as big as Conor or Logan Paul to do this. In 2025, creating content around yourself is a literal non-negotiable. People with hundreds of followers, not millions, are making serious money by building a personal brand. Skills get you in the game, but branding takes you where you
Conor McGregor announced his upcoming fight with Logan Paul on the social media platform X, hinting at an astounding $250 million payout for the event. If accurate, this figure would rank it among the most lucrative exhibition bouts in history. Adding to the excitement, the event is reportedly being hosted by Mukesh Ambani, one of the world's wealthiest individuals, further heightening the intrigue and spectacle surrounding the matchup.
They confirmed it. So Conor McGregor is due to fight Logan Paul, not to be confused with Jake Paul, in India for $250 million each. You ain't making your money back. So this is from MacLife Official, who's one of my faves. They're salt of the earth people. Conor McGregor and Logan Paul are featured as part of the historic Visit India tourism campaign, so it's government funded, yeah? It's a clash in Mumbai, iconic stadium. The two will be rewarded for their efforts, with McGregor set to walk away with $250 million. That's more than to fight Floyd.
Let's go. Have you heard anything from Conor about the $1 million bet?
This mother disappoints me because I grew up really liking Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
He's so entertaining. He's so good. When he fought Floyd, come on, that was like the most exciting sports event ever.
Yeah.
I was pumped for it. And now that we're kind of, you know, in some weird roundabout way, crossing paths, or he's training Dylan, and Dylan's the guy I'm fighting, and I have an opportunity to open a dialogue with him, he's kind of just disappointed me as a super.
McGregor has been on a path to recovery, hinting at a comeback while also exploring ventures beyond the octagon. His 2017 boxing match against Floyd Mayweather, despite ending in defeat, highlighted his ability to attract massive pay-per-view audiences, cementing his status as a global draw.
Change his style, and fair play to him, he did. He adjusted, he changed his style, put the hands up more forward. He's composed.
Hands up towards your forehead, dipped in, forehead on the chest, and started to fight that kind of fight. I didn't anticipate that. Three game changes in the fight. That's what a true champion does. Much respect. You came with it. You know what I mean? I gotta give respect to that. It was a hell of a fight.
Was he better than you had expected?
He's a lot better than I thought he was. He used different angles. He was a tough competitor, but I was the better man tonight.
In there. So he was making me throw and he was patient with his shots. I've got to give him none but respect. Fair play to him. Great career.
Floyd's not ready for this. Much respect to Floyd. He's a solid businessman. What he has been able to do, he is a full animal at what he has been able to do. But as far as real fighting, as far as true, pure, unreal combat, Floyd don't want none of this. I think he does not want none of this. You know what I'm gonna ask him? He wants it on the boxing rules. He wants a boxing match. He doesn't want to fight. So I want to respect everyone in here. I love everyone is. Give Floyd a shout out.
How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million. Yes.
Ambani's involvement sparks questions about the broader impact on Indian tourism and the nation's global image. Leveraging such a high-profile event to promote tourism is both innovative and controversial. Critics argue that the enormous sums of money could be better allocated to other initiatives, while supporters contend that the global spotlight on the fight could deliver a substantial boost to India's tourism industry.
Conor McGregor has agreed to fight Logan Paul, and here's everything we know. It all started with the rumors of Conor fighting Ilia Topuria in his return in the UFC, and that's when Conor came out with this tweet that the rumors are false, and instead that he's in talks with the Ambani family in India to host an exhibition match with Logan. And Conor said he's agreed on his part, and then he's going to return into the UFC. And if you're wondering why Logan versus Conor, why in India, here's the net worth of the Ambani family. $103 billion.
Conor McGregor, known for competing in multiple weight classes, including featherweight, 145 oz, and lightweight, 155 oz, is set to face Logan Paul, who naturally weighs around 200 oz. Despite the significant weight disparity, McGregor has confirmed a preliminary agreement to take on Paul in an exhibition boxing match in India, with backing from the Ambani family.
It'll be an exhibition. They're obviously going to try and get close, but I have no idea where that kind of meeting point is going to be. Conor's up at like 170 odd now, so perhaps they can kind of get around that 190 range, 200 range. I'm really not sure, but yeah, an exhibition. I mean, straight away, my first thoughts are, how legit is this going to be? Because Conor's not going to want to sign for something where he's going to be made to look stupid. Logan, Logan wouldn't mind losing to Conor.
I mean, on paper, this sounds fantastic, right? This is going to be a great fight. But then you think about who's fighting. Arguably two of the greatest marketers in martial arts history. Of course, we have McGregor, who can sell tickets with his eyes closed, and Logan Paul, who's going to use all of his social media power to get everyone under the age of 15 to buy the pay-per-view. And I think every single person knows exactly how this is going to play out. This fight is going to be set sometime in late 2025 or 2026. McGregor's going to start talking shit early, make personal attacks, yada yada yada. Logan's going to make it his entire personality and keep posting videos on social media to promote it and also make some attacks.
Both Conor McGregor and Logan Paul are celebrated not only for their fighting prowess, but also for their exceptional marketing acumen. McGregor's bouts have consistently attracted massive pay-per-view audiences, while Logan Paul has skillfully utilized his extensive social media following to generate significant buzz around his boxing ventures.
Then they're going to have these crazy, extravagant press conferences where it gets really heated and they're arguing and they're just going back and forth at one another. And then it's going to be marketed as the biggest fight of all time. There's going to be so much anticipation built up around it. People just can't wait until that day comes. Then finally, it's time for fight night. All the prelims are pretty good. They have like a 20-minute walkout. And it's the most underwhelming fight you've ever seen. And I'll just imagine that Jake wins, Conor gets millions of dollars, and the next day we're talking about the fight being rigged once again. That's exactly how it's going to play out. We've been here like 8 times. Don't fall for it. This fight is going to...
Their potential matchup is expected to be a blockbuster event, bringing together their massive fan bases and exceptional promotional skills.
As far as legit competition, Dylan's way more qualified. You look at, 4-time world champion jiu-jitsu as a brown belt, competed at black belt, competed in ADCC. He's a lot more accomplished, but it's just jiu-jitsu. He's never been known as a striker. Then you look at Logan, obviously been in bigger entertainment spectacles as far as, he did fight Floyd Mayweather, who's a smaller boxer, but that's a lot of pressure. And then he does WWE, which isn't real, but it's still an athletic event.
He did really good.
And there's a lot of eyeballs. You tend to side towards Logan on this, right?
I would.
Yeah, I find myself rooting for Dylan a little bit just because all the bullshit he's been through. You see, he's sober now. There's a good person in there.
I mean, if you're putting money on it, you're putting it on Logan, right?
No, because the odds.
So
minus
-450 for Logan. Plus 330 for...
Former UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub has warned McGregor against underestimating Logan Paul. Schaub suggests that if McGregor doesn't train seriously and maintains his current lifestyle, he could encounter unexpected difficulties against Paul, who holds a considerable size advantage.
So when I worked for Showtime, the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight, I was like the Logan Paul expert, right? So I had to go in and interview Logan, and I go in there, I was like, I bet they're going to be a train wreck. They're going to be so nervous fighting Floyd Mayweather. I walk in there, and it was like a yoga studio. They had like incense burning. It was real calm. And Logan's like, what's up, man? I'm like, dude, you fight in 30 minutes. He's like, isn't it cool? I'm like, I guess. Or shouldn't you, like, warm up? He's like, yeah, it's all good, man.
I did a couple downward dogs. I'm good.
No, I thought he was going to be nervous. He goes, I've already won, dude. I'm not nervous at all. I've already won.
Whoa.
He goes, I'm a YouTuber. I'm fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Cool.
I've already won, dude. He's like, whatever happens, all good.
What an attitude.
So I look over, he's like, can you talk to my dad? So I look at Dad, and he's just, like, sweating.
So nervous.
And I was like, listen, your son's going to be fine. Floyd's tiny. He's not going to give him brain trauma. If he hurts him, it's going to be to the body. He'll be fine. He's like, you think? I was like, yeah, he'll be fine. He's going to have liver damage and internal bleeding. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he can overcome that.
Stephen A. Smith has been vocal about his thoughts on the potential fight between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul. In an interview, Smith expressed that he believes the fight is a poor choice for McGregor. He pointed out that McGregor is primarily a mixed martial artist and striker, not a boxer. According to Smith, McGregor's UFC skills may not necessarily translate to success in the boxing ring, especially against a more experienced boxer like Logan Paul.
Speaking of everyone buzzing, like I said, we wake up this morning to a series of tweets from Conor McGregor, and there's a whole bunch of stuff obviously pertaining to the trial that just wrapped up a couple of weeks ago, but there is some fight news, if you will. And so I want to talk about this now, and I want to try to tell you everything that I know about the situation. A quick check.
Smith also pointed to McGregor's previous boxing match against Floyd Mayweather, where McGregor struggled and was defeated in the 10th round. He suggested that McGregor's bigger muscles and slower speed could work against him in a boxing ring. Smith concluded that he doesn't believe McGregor has a strong chance against Paul, and that the fight might turn out to be more of a spectacle than a true competition.
It all kicks off with this tweet from Conor McGregor at 4:08 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 9:08 in Edda. The rumors of a bout with Topuria are false. I believe he's referring to Ilia Topuria. I am in preliminary agreements with the Ambani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed. I will then seek my return to the octagon. Shortly thereafter, we got a tweet from Ilia Topuria saying the rumors of a bout with McChicken are false. I don't fight, nor am I interested in fighting with a rapist.
Let's assume that you beat Dylan. Is there like an end goal?
I would like to fight Conor. I think it'd be really cool.
You think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185, and he's like 180, 175.
What are you now? You probably are
200 flat.
But size-wise, Conor was most effective at 145.
Yeah, but we'll always come back to, like, he's a professional fighter. I'm a YouTuber, you know, and so that's supposed to be the give and take of it. Like, why would I, a YouTuber whose own one, have any business beating the great Conor McGregor?
Logan Paul conducted an Instagram poll asking his followers who they believed would win the fight. The results revealed that 63% of his followers think McGregor will come out on top. This social media engagement has not only increased anticipation for the fight, but also involved fans in the build-up to this highly anticipated event.
This would certainly qualify as something kind of out of left field that people would get worked up over. And so that's where things stand. Oh, by the way, Logan Paul reacting on social media with this. Some eyes. On his Instagram, his story. By the way, he did that? I mean, that's pretty impressive. Nice little background. I guess he has a good team behind it. But there you go. He's reacting to it as well. Reached out to some more parties, and as of now, everyone is quite tight-lipped.
We're talking about, Spain, Seattle, and Chicago, and, these other places that we haven't been in a long time. A lot of big fights. I got something in the works right now. I'll drive you crazy. All you guys will be running around. I got something in the works that you will never see coming for 2025 that literally started to come together last night. And, we got some fun stuff coming.
Conor McGregor, one of the most renowned and successful fighters in UFC history, has announced that he will be taking part in an exhibition boxing match against Logan Paul.
What happened was I went over to Ireland. I received some award from one of the colleges over there. So I told all the fans, meet me at the bar tonight. I'm buying drinks. All these people show up. Everybody keeps talking about this guy, Conor McGregor. For some reason, whatever it was, I don't know why. I was drinking too. But I thought he was a heavyweight. So I come back and I tell Sean Shelby, our matchmaker, I said, this kid Conor McGregor. He's like, yeah, I know him. I've been watching him. Blah, 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 blah. We end up signing him. So he flies out to Vegas and he and I go to dinner together. And I'm blown away by this kid, right? So we leave each other that night. I get in the car and I called Lorenzo. I said, let me tell you what. I don't know if this kid can fight or not, but if he can even throw a punch, he's going to be a huge super.
Dana White has repeatedly praised Conor McGregor, calling him a unicorn in the sport. White admires McGregor's readiness to take on any opponent, a quality that has won him the admiration of fans and helped establish him as one of the UFC's biggest stars.
Conor McGregor is a unicorn. Yes, he's funny. He's got the personality. He's got that thing. But at the end of the day, what people really loved about Conor McGregor, he never turned down a fight. There's video footage of me and Lorenzo standing in his house. He just wakes up in his underwear. He's been training for a fight. The fight's off. Conor spent shitloads of his own money. We told him, you see him sort of absorb it for a minute. He's like, well, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting. That's what people like. You can have all the personality and all this shit. People love killers. Conor was a killer. Doesn't care. Doesn't want to know. Doesn't want any more money. Nothing. He shows up and he delivers. Yeah. So, Conor has been incredibly successful. He's made a lot of money. And, he's had his ups and downs outside and inside the octagon. But as for a guy who was, on the dole and was a plumber, he's actually a really smart businessman, and he's been one of the best partners that I've ever had in the history of the sport.
Yeah, and an important part of the history of the UFC.
Big.
He opened it up to all kinds of new eyes.
Yep. He literally, set Europe, Australia, Canada, and many other parts of the world on fire.
Logan Paul, a YouTube star turned professional boxer, has gained recognition by participating in high-profile fights, including matchups against fellow YouTuber KSI and boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. The announcement of McGregor versus Paul received mixed reactions, with some fans excited about the spectacle, while others raised concerns about the legitimacy and purpose of the fight.
I mean, this is bonkers on so many levels. You can already see one of the first reactions to it. Toxplicity an hour ago saying a sex pest and a crypto scammer. Lovely. Merry Christmas, everyone. Right? Merry Christmas. Obviously, right now, America is asleep. When they wake up, this news is going to go absolutely bonkers. Because you're taking two of the biggest stars in the world. Obviously, Conor McGregor's reputation is in the toilet after everything that he's been through in 2024. I think Logan Paul's reputation has been in the toilet for quite a while. So it's bonkers. The whole thing is bonkers. Obviously, we have seen Conor box before. He boxed Floyd Mayweather.
Did you fight Floyd or something? Yeah. Did he pay you to lose? What happened?
He didn't pay me. I wish you'd pay me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money. That's about $1,100. So is that your only loss? Was Floyd?
No, I didn't lose. It was an exhibition, so there's no loser.
There's no loser in exhibition?
No.
So you both are winners? It's like a tie. That's
I
not a
don't
good
know.
feeling. It's like tongue kissing your sister or something. It's not a great feeling.
How many chicks hit you up after the
16.
Mayweather fight?
Can I be honest with you?
Hey.
Something changed
Yeah.
that night.
No offense, but I saw you up like after you were like flexing after you didn't get knocked out, and I was like, this guy's gonna so many chicks.
His brother, Jake Paul, is following a similar path and was even rumored to be fighting Conor. Jake's bold personality, marketing savvy, and improving boxing skills have earned him a string of notable wins, including victories over former UFC fighters like Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and Anderson Silva.
Hey, I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but I know you probably signed an NDA, but blink twice if that Jake Paul fight was set up.
Blink twice.
I know you probably
I
can't
don't
say
never
that.
blink because I got these liberty eyes. I don't need much air, you know what I mean, to keep them open. A lot of people wonder that, but think about this. If I say Rampage pay you $2 million, right, that this dude beat you, what you gonna do? You gonna feel disrespected, number one.
Yeah.
Right, that ain't enough money.
Yeah.
But I got paid in the Jake fights. For me to do that, I gotta be willing to walk away for good, and it gotta set me up for a while, at least not for life, but something like 20-something million where I can invest it and fall off in the shade, because that's what you would have to do. Would I do something like that? You would have to know me to know I'm too solid of a guy to even have somebody walk to me and ask me.
Yeah.
What happened to me is what was gonna happen.
For me, just as a spectator, as a media guy, as a fan as well, like to see his UFC run end at the Apex with no one there, with no fanfare, with no video package, with no honoring, with no Hall of Fame, with no nothing, put me down. It made me feel very sad.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, as someone who looked up to him, how you felt about
Yeah,
that.
I don't get why you're not in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
I agree, by the way.
already talked to you about that. That's not important for me because.
But it's important for everyone
Yeah,
around
but like,
you.
but there's guys who retired years and years after you that got put in there,
Yeah,
and you're more legendary than.
Do you think the highly anticipated Conor McGregor versus Logan Paul fight will actually take place? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below.